Hello there fellow NPCs, I'm Scythe and today we're getting back into Everlasting Summer. We are currently going to start the Lena path for now. And since I haven't been able to figure out how to start multiple paths at the same time without dragging this out unnecessarily, I'm going to start over. So yeah, I will be seeing you guys every once in a while when I get to something that we haven't seen before. So yeah. For now, let's go. And our first stop is here at the park bench. And I do believe we did do this before, but we will do it again. We will praise the book. Let's see, what book was it? Gone with the Wind, that both Lena and Alyssa was reading. So yeah, I believe that Alyssa was reading it to become as good as Lena. So I don't really know exactly what Alyssa's deal was, but I do believe they have different archetypes. So for example, Alyssa is having low self-esteem, bad self-image and things like that, and how we have to find our own path through music in her case, in order to find out who we are. So yeah, I think that is kind of the theme with the girls here, so we will see how Lena is. But for now, let's say she's reading a good book. And yeah, we're saying that. And let's ignore. Let's do this again. Yes, flashing past it all. The only thing we don't want to do is the kitchen place, because that is for Uliana. And as you can hear, maybe you can hear it. Yeah, I'm doing it a bit extra right now, but my voice is still a bit down in the dumps because I am having a cold right now. Yeah. So should we go get the cards? And here we're actually supposed to not bet with Alyssa. And I will also keep score of when we pass 6, so that I can get the good and bad ending right after each other. Do not bet with Alyssa. No, I'm not going to participate in your shady business. Sorry about that. You was? Ooh, I have barely any control over my throat right now. She shrugged and went up the stairs. Before she went inside, she flung at me, "Prepare to face the consequences." Consequences? What if I made the wrong decision? After all, she can really complicate things for me. On the other hand, I just couldn't allow myself to be pulled into something so reckless. I let out a heavy sigh and followed her through the door. Inside, everything was ready. Holy crap, what is up with my voice? I can basically feel it just reverberate throughout and completely. A few seconds ago I thought I still had a slim chance to evade this tournament. Then I wouldn't have to fear Alyssa's revenge for not betting with her. But now, that hope was gone. It was pure coincidence. And we're fighting Senya, and we skip the tutorial. And if we lose against Lena, then we score a point. Now I have 2 points. I left the canteen. It was still too early to sleep, and a short walk looked like a good idea. Where should I head to? No, we are heading to... Oh, this is entire one big thing. I thought there were like 3 different things. But we're heading here to play some badminton. I wanted to get away. How could I ever lose in the first round? There was no excuse for me. The sports ground seems to be the best place to go to be alone at the moment. Who would think about playing soccer in the evening? I sat down on a bench near the pitch and started to think about what had happened. Suddenly, from the volleyball field side, I started hearing sounds that seemed to me like sounds of rasping or whistling. Turning, I saw someone desperately swinging his hand. Who is he gesturing at? To my astonishment, it was Lena. She was throwing the shuttlecock up in the air and attempted to strike it with a racket. However, to be really honest, she sucked at badminton. I was just watching for a while, but then I decided to go up to her. I went around the volleyball court and got inside so that she could see me. Lena was as timid as a deer, so I'd rather not repeat previous mistakes. Aye, She glanced at me and immediately hid the racket and the shuttlecock behind her back. You like badminton? Not really. I see you're not really getting it. Maybe you want some help? Tell the truth, I was not very good at badminton, but just like any other child, I used to play it from time to time. Let me show you. Thank you. She blushed. I want to join the badminton team, but I don't see it happening really. I wouldn't even try it today, but... She looked up at me. I never have any luck at cards, but seemed like I was on fire today, so I thought it could be the same with badminton. After these words, I realized that losing to Lena is doubly upsetting. I would never think of you as being so keen on sports. She blushed again. Oh, excuse me. Come on, let me show you. I took the racket, threw the shuttlecock up in the air, and struck it with such strength that it flew over the fence and got lost among the trees. Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, didn't expect that from myself. Never mind. Although, it was the last one. The last one? Let's go and get it. We'd better not. There is... in the forest. What's in there? A goblin? I laughed out loud. Ha ha ha. Maybe. It seemed like I was the only one joking around. There's no one there to be afraid of. Come on. Well, if you're with me. We went out of the sports ground and I started to inspect the trees. All of a sudden, the screech of an owl pierced the night. Okay, so that's how it goes. Lena got so scared that she seized me with both hands, giving me something like a hug. This strong grip was a bit awkward. To feel a girl's body and its warmth so close to me, I was filled with tenderness. I had a deep desire to protect her and to guard her from anyone, even if it's only an owl or another night bird. My only wish was to let this embrace last forever. Holy crap, he's easy to sway! However, all good things must come to an end sooner or later. After a while. I did not intend for that to happen. After a while I realized that it was an owlet who was screeching in a branch next to us. A Sovyonok! It was holding our shuttlecock tightly. Is that what you're so scared of? Uh-huh. Take a look. It isn't scary at all. Lena looked up from behind my back. You're right. Not scary at all. Hey, wait a second. I gently got out of her hug and came closer to the owlet. At first it seemed that it'd get frightened and fly away, dropping the shuttlecock. But the owlet was still perching there. I succeeded in grasping the shuttlecock and carefully taking it from the bird. Hey look, it's almost tame. Would you like to pet it? Maybe. Some other time. I handed the shuttlecock to Lena. Thank you. She smiled gently. I have to go. Good luck at badminton. Lena smiled again and hurried away to the camp. How sweet can a girl get? For the first time today I finally felt how tired I was. Now let's blast past this and I'll see you guys real soon. And it's breakfast the very next day and we are gonna have some breakfast with Lena. Of course, we've seen this already, so we'll be seeing you guys soon enough. Okay, so we're back now and with this I will score my 5th point. So I will come. Nice. That's how a true pioneer should answer. Even after these words I barely came to step closer to be prepared, always prepared motto. But we will blast past this, so I'll see you guys real soon again. Don't really miss anything, but who cares? I better go keep on looking for answers. Let's see what it says. Whoever that is, what's the big deal? I have better things to do. Yeah, we're ignoring Alyssa this time around. I came back to the leader's cabin. Olga Dmitrievna was lying lazily on her bed and reading a book. Semyon, what are you doing here? That's what I could ask her too. I've forgotten something, so I came back. You were absent at the lineup. Oh yeah, I apologize. Alright. Nevertheless, you should do something useful today. Just as I planned. But I have my own vision of what useful means. Like, you could go to the square to help with the cleaning. Slavia is in charge there. Have we already seen this? No, we haven't. Strange, I've just been there and hadn't seen anyone. Or you could visit the boys at the electronics club. They asked me for a hand. Those fathers of invention again. Finally, you could go help at the sports club. What are they up to? They're renewing the pitch, fixing the benches, changing goal nets and so on. Honestly, none of those options suited me. Is there any option that is more... Sports club is Uljana. Then it was Slavia. And then it was Electric. Honestly, none of those options suited me. Why is she always trying to burden me with work? Seriously, except for Slavia, no one ever works here, while some people in particular are enjoying their free time with a youthful spirit. Even one of the leaders' attempts to keep me busy seems to serve only one purpose: to prevent me from finding out my current location. Really, all the deep and vital questions concerning my existence are swept away by a broom, together with all the rubbish and litter. In my case, taking some time to work would probably pay off, but just like someone suffering gangrene and reacting an amputation, I will stand by my beliefs. You know, I already have my own arrangements. Oh really? What kind of arrangements? She bucked up. Well, I can't just tell her what I'm really thinking about. On the other hand, why not? No, it's too dangerous. At least now I maintain a fragile balance and nothing is threatening me. Everything seems that way. Yes, as I thought. What exactly she thought remained secret. You probably have not yet realized how important it is to participate in social life. Yeah, that is pretty much spot on. That's why we entered this frickin' camp to begin with. Pioneer camp, because our social life in the real world was very bad. This is the only way to become a pioneer capable of being a role model. I didn't want to sit through another long lecture, so I decided to accept one of the offers. Sometimes the answer in this world can be found in the most unexpected places. Or at least so I wanted to believe. So, should I choose for you? The leader's voice turned authoritative. I can do it myself, thank you. I mumbled and left the cabin. I'd rather help Slavia. I think I'd rather assist the guys with the giant robot engineering. Fine, I'll help the sports club. We're going to the giant robot. Because the other girls, I can do it on their path. Well, they might be not so giant after all. That was surely a hard decision to make. Indeed, is there any reason to spend extra time with a weird chaps fond of early to mid-20th century sci-fi? Holy crap, some of these sentences are impossible to read in one reading. But what if I manage to find out something useful from them? At least I can try. Standing on the threshold of the clubhouse, I hesitated for a while. Finally, all my doubts were swept aside. I opened the door and went in. Electronic and Shurik were bending over the table, studying something closely. Hi there, cyberneticists. How's it going? I was itching to behave as friendly as I could. Hi, we were waiting for you. How did I know you were going to say that? Electronic obviously intended to be called the Oracle. So, what do you need? You'll help us to complete the robot. No way. That's out of my league. Don't worry, we'll show you around. The more you hate me, the more you will learn. I'm a hard man. But I am fair. Electronic joined in cheerfully. There's more to life than fun and games, dudes. It's a topic to discuss. I got a question, and you seem to have an answer. What's the question? He inquired guardedly. Do you think it is possible to travel in time? Ooh, music changed because of that. Why would you think such a thing? electronics suddenly became serious. It's not only my idea. I took a book from the library yesterday, The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. You must have read it, so, well, I'm thinking it over. I haven't read that one. Which one did I read by H.G. Wells? Did I read one of his books? I don't remember. Island of Dr. Moreau is not his, I believe. But I did read that one. Oh. Wanna leap to the future? See how life is there? Nah, not really. I'm more interested in traveling back in time. Why is that? I don't know. Why not? Well, what do you think about it? General relativity theory postulates the existence of wormholes, also known as tunnels in space. But you wouldn't understand it all anyway. I bet I won't. Anyway, in any such a supposition, we'll encounter a whole bunch of paradoxes. For example, if you travel to the past and kill yourself, then it would mean that you from the present won't be able to exist. Well, it seems so. In a nutshell, it's all too unscientific. Well, it's untested, but it's not unscientific. I see. Well, what if it would be possible? I mean, do I need some kind of machine, a device, or a program to get to the past? Or is it enough just to fall asleep in the wrong place and wake up in another time in reality? I'm sure that modern science has no answer for your questions yet. Oh, yeah. It sounds just like a popular mechanics magazine. I've seen a couple of issues lying around my shelves too. I see. It appears that coming here was a bad idea. However, we assume that the known laws of physics are incorrect. Or alternatively, the laws themselves are correct but we don't know everything about them. Then it's definitely possible. Well, yeah, if we are going to throw out everything we know, then anything is possible. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Or it could be somebody, for example, a more advanced race than humans that possess superior knowledge of the nature of things. Okay. They could build a time machine or travel through time by some other means. Okay. So that means that I was thrown into the past by humanity's big brother. An interesting idea. And it seems reasonable if you think about it. And how would one find these, the ones you've been talking about, if you're already in the past? How on earth would we know? They both laughed loudly. Well, thanks guys. I was about to leave. Hey, hang on. What about our robot? I'm sure that everything will be just fine with it. The Unis-cybernetics arguments were quite logical, but alas, I wasn't an inch closer to solving the mystery of my arrival in this world. I strolled around the camp for some time and then headed to the canteen. And I believe we already seen this part, so I will blast through it again. See you soon. Oh! Oh, right! And it just stopped of it on its own. So that means that now it's evening and I have to help Viola, or Violet, or whatever the nurse's name is, and Lena. So now something new is going to happen again. Well, I have to go. In a couple of minutes I was standing at the square. The loudspeakers and some DJ equipment were installed near the monument, and the trees were decorated with light strings. Ah, a typical country ball. A lot of pioneers were around, but no familiar faces, so I just sat on a bench and waited. I don't have to dance after all. Maybe I'll just be able to just sit and chat with someone. Ain't that sad face? Juliana. Here to suggest something? Come on, let's dance. It's way too early. There isn't even any music yet. Blah! You're so boring. Yeah, I'm not in the merriest person for such an event. She ran away. So Juliana did wear something like an evening dress. Pretty funny. Oh, look at that! Gorgeous. Whatever this is supposed to be called. Hi. Slavia. Hey. She sat down by my side. How's the evening? Fine. Why are you so sad? I'm not. Okay, well, dancing will surely cheer you up. Maybe. Don't forget to say one dance for me. She laughed and ran towards the music equipment. The situation was getting serious. I wouldn't be able to see through the whole dance party. Hi. Lena came closer. Oh, hi. You're here too. Is that such a wonder? Yes. Okay. Gonna light this party up? The joke fell flat. Lena blushed and looked down. Well, maybe that's not the best idea, setting things on fire. I remember this. Okay, then I guess I'll... Yeah. She left. Yeah, so apparently we're really bad at flirting as well. It looks like the whole camp was at the square. The pioneers from large groups talked, joked around and laughed. At the DJ's panel, Lena argued loudly with Olga Dmitrievna about the playlist for the evening. And here it is. The music started to play. I didn't know the band or the song, but if you asked me, I really felt that I'd tag it Soviet pop classics. The pioneers just stood there for some time as if not hearing the music. It's always hard to take the first step, especially if you're pretty sure that you'll be the only one who would take it. Uliana seemed not to grasp that simple truth. She reached the center of the square with few bounds and cried out loud, "What are you standing around for?" and started to wiggle ridiculously. Wiggle is the exact word. You couldn't find a better one. I looked so silly and funny that I couldn't resist laughing. She noticed it. "Hey, Semyon!" I pretended I couldn't hear her. "Stop pretending, come over here!" I kept ignoring her. The pioneers slowly realized that they weren't too sexy for this party and started to dance. It looked really silly from my point of view. Shaking one's arms and legs to the beat of a long-forgotten hits. Come on, get real. Of course, I couldn't dance at all, but this thing couldn't be called a dance either. "Hey, Semyon, what are you sitting there for? Don't you want to dance?" I was so deep in thought that I hadn't even noticed Slavia. Not really. Are you sure? She smiled. Maybe later. Damn, what am I even doing here? One more invitation to dance would completely ruin my pride. I started to think about an appropriate excuse to leave, and I was looking for the moment to do so, but then I saw Lena. She was slowly heading my way. Maybe we should go? Where to? I was so immersed in my thoughts that I didn't really get what you meant. To the infirmary. But if you want to stay here and dance... I doubt she was going to dance. Lena had stood aside for the whole evening. No, I'll pass. Let's go. At least I won't have to stand here like a shy nerd. Seriously, trying to conceal myself in the corner wasn't very pleasant. A bull in a china shop would have been more agile than me on the dance floor. I didn't have a slightest intention of dancing in the first place. Well, shall we go to the infirmary? Lena brought me out from my thoughts. We'd been just standing near the canteen for some time. Yeah, sure, thank you. What for? She looked at me in surprise. Well, for getting me out of there. I should have told her that dancing is not my thing. It's, so boring there. Seems to me you don't like dancing. There was not a trace of sarcasm on her truthful, even childlike face. It seems like she really doesn't understand. Yes, don't like it at all. I'm not into it. Me too. No one ever invites me to a dance. Lena blushed and stared at the ground as usual. Strange. What's strange? Well, that no one ever invites you. You think so? Again, she looked at me with an expression of surprise and a lack of understanding. I got confused and couldn't find out what to say in return right away. Yes, certainly. If I liked dancing, I would have invited you for sure. Thanks. We didn't say a word for the rest of the way. Lena obviously felt too confused by my awkward compliment, and I just didn't know what the topic to choose for the conversation. It was completely dark by that time, and the gloomy building of the infirmary, covered in the night mist, looked strongly like a haunted house. I felt a strong desire to turn around and walk away without making any noise. Hey! Why does this trash can look like a cat? What's up with that? I threw a quick glance at Lena and noticed that she looked like usual. Shy, modest, uncertain, but not in any way scared. It just made me even more uncomfortable. It can't be that she is not scared while I... Suddenly an owl hooted nearby and I shivered. Lena seemed to either not to hear it, not pay attention to it, or just not scared by it at all. I hardly could believe the third option, but I didn't want to ask her about it, giving away my own fear. I entered the infirmary and found the switch in the dark. Will the nurse come later? She won't come. Okay, she won't come. Understood. Wait a second. What do you mean she won't come? Ah, I see. It is not that I'm afraid to be alone with Lena. Indoors, at night, with no one around. Only in movies does something happen under such circumstances. It's just that I am with Lena and not with Uliana or Slavia. And it seriously changed my attitude towards the things happening. There are the boxes. She pointed at the messy stack of boxes. There were about a dozen of them. It would take much more time. It would take much more than 10 minutes of work. I put one of the boxes on the table before me and started to take out its contents. There were bandages, lots of little packs of bandages. Here, take this. Lena gave me a piece of paper. There were some fields and I quickly realized that I should put the name in the left, the description in the middle, if there is one, and the quantity in the right field. It's not a database, but it'll do. The work started in full swing. Semyon. What? I looked at Lena. She stared at me for a couple of moments, seemingly making up her mind over to do or say something, but then lowered her gaze again. No, never mind. It was physically hard for me to just sit without saying a word. However, I didn't dare to speak first, not only because I couldn't think of a good topic for conversation, but that I was just feeling shy. This girl could easily be embarrassed by anything. Semyon? Yes, you're counting them all over again. Indeed, I had started to take out and put into the database the bandages I had already counted. Oh, sorry. She didn't answer. Hey, where are you from? I mean, where did you come from? Meaning, where were you born? I mean, where do you live? Well, there is a town not far from here. Not far from here? Where is that? Somewhere. Looks like she doesn't want to talk about it. Is Lena hiding something too? It is explicable in the case of Olga Dmitrievna, but in Lena's case, it is absolutely not like her. Is it a secret? No. Just... So, is it somewhere in the south too? I should have thought of something more original. Every single one of my sudden ideas turned out the wrong way, and this attempt to play spy worked out even worse. And I thought about the south just because the only pioneer camp of the Soviet Union I remember was Artek. Yes. Lena hesitated to reply. I couldn't quite tell if she was lying or not. Don't you like it here? I wondered what part of what I said made her think so. Absolutely not. I like it here. My false friendliness sounded very insincere, grating on the ears. What about you? I like it. It's so calm here. There are lots of books in the library. And the people are nice. Nice, but not all of them. Why? Did I really say that last bit out loud? Turns out I did. Well, you know, Uliana, for example, she's like an energizer battery with a completely unbalanced point of power application. Battery... what? Maybe I really was sent back in time. Never mind. Or Alyssa, the saying a pioneer is the kid's role model. I don't understand that sentence. Certainly doesn't describe her. If everyone started following her example, it would be a complete disaster for the country in 20 years or so. Oh, now I see. A pioneer is the kid's role model. Okay, I thought it was because of the half apostrophe or whatever it's called, here, and then again here. I thought this was the complete sentence first. That's what it was messing me up. However, thinking about it now, you can draw the conclusion that everybody did follow the example of Alyssa Dvashevskaya in the 80s, where I probably am right now. She's not like that, actually. Not like that? Not like what? Not like what you said about her. To begin with, I hadn't said anything. I just stated the fact that she is not the best example to follow. Well, maybe. Sounds like you know her well enough. Probably. I asked the question only to keep the conversation going and didn't expect an answer like that. Alyssa and Lena was so different. The idea that they could be close was unbelievable for me. We came from the same town. As if she had foreseen my question. We have common friends, even though Alyssa is 1 year older. Okay, it's a little bit strange. Oh, no, not like that. I'm just surprised. Everyone gets surprised. Lena smiled a bit. I took the second box. Analgenum, activated charcoal, analgenum, activated charcoal, saline solution, potassium permanganate, ferrazylin, analgenum. Lena always spoke in simple sentences. How can I communicate with her if every conversation turns into a monologue or just an awkward silence? I wasn't quite satisfied with such a state of things. Sometimes it looked like she was hiding something behind her mask of shyness. But what? You know, I read a book not that long ago. Do you like science fiction? Not much. Damn, another failure. Well, if you don't like it, then what books do you like? Different kinds. The conversation wasn't going smoothly, and I had to turn it off for the better. Who knows why, but I thought about the dance again. Feelings of uneasiness, discomfort, and even shame overwhelmed me once more. Looks like I'm not that different from Lena when it comes to such things. I'm shy and afraid of things I don't understand or can't do. I should probably overcome my own fears before anything else. And this will help me to understand her better. I made up my mind. There are only a couple of boxes left. Yes. Here, hey, I got an idea. How about we go to the canteen afterwards? I think that the tape recorder was taken back there. What is it doing in the canteen? I hesitated. What for? Her sincere look made it clear that she hadn't the slightest idea what I'm going to offer. Well, frankly speaking, I just don't know how to dance. That's why I don't like it. That's the reason I was so confused back there. Maybe I could thank you by dancing with you. But She stopped sorting out the medicine for a moment, blushed and looked right into my eyes. I got a bit stubborn. It really was a stupid idea. It's okay, if you don't want to. I don't insist. What if someone sees us? I certainly didn't think about that. It's not a big deal. But everybody's all asleep already. And no one is going to go to the canteen at night. How will we get in there? I should have thought about it beforehand. Well, at that moment I regretted that I still didn't get my cell phone from the leader's cabin. Olga Dmitrievna talked my head off and I forgot it. Anyway, I had to say something to get away from this awkward topic. What kind of music do you like? Different kinds? I'm not really into it. Then let's imagine that it's playing now. I mean that we hear it playing. How's that? Like it plays in our head. I still remember the melody the pioneers were dancing to. The music and the words were really clear in my memory. I'm not sure I can do it. You can just try. Probably. I got her consent. In Lena's case, even that probably can be considered yes. And we start dancing. Not yet? No, not yet. We silently sorted medical supplies for the rest of the time, writing down their names and quantities. I should pay more attention to every word I say after such luck. I stayed silent most of the time though. Soon we finished the last box. I gave Lena the filled-in list and started to stare at her, like I saw Bigfoot riding a unicycle with juggling piglets. Wild juggling piglets. Okay. It was amazing, frightening, and above all, mesmerizing. She suddenly broke out laughing. What? That look of yours. What about it? It's just funny. Really? Yes. So, where are we going to go? Where? Her last words unsettled me. I completely forgot what we were talking about. Frankly speaking, I completely left this world for a moment. Well, you know, to dance. Lena blushed right away, and her face took on a strange expression of shyness, uneasiness, and fear. Ah, yes. Sorry, I was just lost in thought. Let's go to the pier. I don't know why I chose that place. Maybe because you could run into a pioneer at the square, in the residential area, or near the canteen, but not on the pier. That's what I thought at least. Or maybe because of the large bright moon reflecting on the water in the night. And it's a full moon today. I don't know how, but this solution just offered itself. If you don't like it, then we can... No, that's a really nice place. Lena locked the door and we made our way to the pier. Night fell on the sleeping camp. Should we follow the road? Why? It will be faster through the forest. There's a nice path there. Well, there could be... Who? An owlet? I laughed. Oh, you! A shadow of displeasure crossed her face. Never mind it. Sorry. If you want to. Okay. But can I? Yeah, she says she's into me. Without finishing, she grabbed onto my arm. Is it okay with you? I mean, how can you not be okay with that, though? Generally speaking. Now it was my turn to blush. Of course. We walked through the forest. It was hardly a forest, though. More like a small grove between the camp and the pier. About 100 meters long. I would never think that there would be anything to be afraid of, even on my own. But it just seemed like Lena's fear was contagious. The branches swayed over us. I shuddered and Lena clung to my arm even more strongly. Don't be afraid, it must be a squirrel. Yeah. We reached the pier. The night was really beautiful. I walked closer to the river and called Lena. Look. The pier, the boathouse, and the moon were reflecting in the water. I looked like another world with the surface of the water being the door to Wonderland. You could just jump and find yourself on the other side. May I have this dance? I extended my hand to her and bowed clumsily. Lena hesitated. I must have overdid it with my mannerisms. It's nothing to fear. I'm not good at it either. Why either? She never said she couldn't dance, though it was kind of obvious. Okay. Lena gave me her hand. I led her a bit aside and gently put my arms around her waist. We just stood like that for a few moments. And what next? Well, I don't know. Do you remember the song? Barely. But I remember. Great. Let's waltz like in the movies. How's that? Instead of answering her, I carefully started to move in a circle with Lena. See? Not that hard at all. Yeah. We waltzed for several minutes. Or whatever you could call it. I felt her warmth, though we were not that close to each other. Her chest heaved heavily, and her face started to blush more and more. Lena didn't look at me, averting her eyes from one side to another. I suddenly realized that I had never felt anything like this before. That was a different pace. It was tenderness overtaking reality, as if I found myself in another, better world. I realized that I didn't want to let this girl go, and that I would give up anything just to go on waltzing with her forever. I clasped Lena tighter, and only then did she look straight at me. There was surprise and confusion in her gaze, but no fear whatsoever. She wasn't afraid of me, and didn't push me away. And you said you can't dance. I really can't. I was confused. I didn't expect that reaction from her. Where has her confusion, shyness and fear disappeared to? You too. Dance pretty well. I know. A playful smile crossed her face. Or maybe it just seemed so to me. No, I swear I saw it. How was that possible? The image of a shy and muzzled Lena didn't fit together with this moment at all. What should I say? What should I do next? I could only keep on waltzing with her in this dance, which was getting stranger with every passing minute. Semyon! Semyon! Where are you? The voice came from the edge of the forest. This is not good. Damn! Worst timing ever! Semyon! It was Olga Dmitrievna. She must have been worrying because I should have been back a long time ago. I should have guessed that tireless camp leader would start searching for a lost pioneer. I should have warned her beforehand. Oh, there is no point in thinking about it now. Lena looked at me questioningly. Being seen together would not be the best thing. Why? Let's go and tell her that everything is alright. No. Let's hide and return to the camp later. Oh! Really? Lena wants to hide out. Okay. Her idea was strange. Everything was going so well. At least something was starting to work out. Or seemed like it did. But what was that something? Okay then. I decided not to argue. It wasn't appropriate in such a situation. Olga Dmitrievna shouted for a while and left. Okay, so no CG for that. Let's go. Yes. Lena didn't grab onto my arm on the way back. I was a little bit frustrated, but wasn't certain enough to take the first step. We kept silent again. It was not typical of Lena to start a conversation, and I just didn't know what to say after everything that happened at the pier. She kept looking at the ground and all the way back, keeping her usual expression. What a bizarre change. Or to be more precise, what was bizarre was the smile on the pier and Lena's words. She stopped at the square. Well, I have to go. Okay. Thank you. For today. Yes. Lena turned around and headed to her cabin, and I kept standing where I was. What the hell was that? That dance? That sudden change in the mood, and then everything was back to normal. It was like I was embracing another Lena in that short moment. That's right. She wasn't herself. She seemed a completely different person. Maybe I don't know her well enough. I had a feeling before that Lena hides something under her mask of shyness. It takes much longer than 2 days to understand someone. Damn, what should I do? Maybe I was just seeing things. I walked to the leader's cabin. The whole camp was sleeping, so there was no one to see me. So what? What's wrong with a pioneer taking a walk at night? When I was almost at the door, I heard a noise behind me. The branches of the bush near the trees rustled as if someone moved there. There shouldn't be any wild animals around here. Someone must have been watching me. In that very moment, I rushed in the direction of the noise, forced myself through the bushes, and looked around. It was too dark, and I didn't see anything or anyone. There was no point in going on, even if someone was watching me. He must have been gone already. I went back to the cabin. The light inside was on. Looks like she's still awake. Semyon, where have you been? What do you mean, where? Me and Lena have been sorting medical supplies in the infirmary. I told you before that I would do that in the evening. Really? When was that? Took you long enough? I was in the infirmary about half an hour ago. It was closed and the lights were off. Well, we decided to have a little walk. I'm fretting about you while you're out having a walk. Well, sorry. I'll let you know beforehand the next time. Please do. Go to bed. It's late. I can't help agreeing with her. It was by any measures a hard day. I was too tired to think about the evening's events, and I doubt I would have any decent thoughts. The main thing is that I have not a single idea how to react to all of this. To Lena, to the camp, to this whole world. I practically haven't spent even a minute on looking for answers. Moreover, I've been avoiding it as if the possible discovery scared me. And Lena, the time I spent with her was much more important than all of my attempts to return to the real world. I could worry myself for a long time, trying to understand what I did wrong and what I didn't do at all, but exhaustion overcame me. In day 3. Yeah, right, it's day 3, I believe. Day 4, even. Yes, but that took much longer than I anticipated, so that will be it for today's episode. Oh, right. We're also hearing the alarm clock ringing. But yeah, that is it for today's episode. So, hopefully, in the next episode, which is tomorrow, hopefully I get to go through both good and bad ending. We will see how that goes. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And if you want to help me out, you can do so by clicking the link down in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.